man. I heard Mama talking on the phone to another man. Is that right? While you was at work, Dad? I was talking to a coworker or something. No, Dad. I think they was talking about meeting up. Oh yeah. But why Mama ain't happy, Dad? I don't know, son. Why Mama wanna leave? I don't know. You a good man. You pay all the bills, so we got food on the table. What's wrong with it, Dad? Man, don't worry about it. Everything gonna be all right, son. Everything gonna be all right. I know I might get in trouble. I'm gonna ask Mama. I'm gonna ask Mama why she treat you the way she do. Be happy here. She need to let you go be happy. Ain't that right, Dad? Yeah, you right. Right, Dad? You right. Ain't that right? You right, son. You right. If you won't leave me, you won't leave me. Go ahead and go on. Go ahead. See, I'm a good man, baby. And good men don't stay too long. We don't stay too long. See, if you won't leave me, you won't leave me. Go ahead and go on. Go ahead and go on. See, I'm a good man, baby. And good men don't stay too long. We don't stay too long.
My. Glad to be before you today. I'm Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith. Our Voice is the only internet talk show that advocates the grassroots perspective and the needs of individuals at the local level. We're at on Tuesday, which is the first and third Tuesday at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our title of today's show is How to Promote Responsibility in a Relationship. Our chat line is down at this time, but once we get it back up, the call-in number to share your thoughts is 347-857-4192. Press 1, and I'll make sure I get you on the line by identifying the last 4 digits of your cell. Ask your location. You can chat with Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith on Our Voice, which is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station, and we're excited to bring this format to you. It's an interactive format, so truly use the opportunity that you have. You can check us out on the web link by going to www.blogtalkradio.com/WVSW Internet Talk Radio. We have a live broadcast going on as well as using social media networks, starting with Facebook.com, Big O Live, TikTok Live, and you can check us out at L. Dialberto Smith, and on Instagram we're partnering with the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma Chapter of Greenville, Alabama, and that handle is Z Squad Greenville 1981, and on YouTube. We want you to subscribe. Just go to the Smithway Enterprises 5018, and you can subscribe and support us that way. Thank you so much for being a loyal listener. Again, WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station, has listeners and watchers in 45 countries and on 6 continents. So we want to make sure the word is out. We're going to make sure individuals who haven't check us out. I'm excited the other night. We had a visitor on our show, one of the networks, said he had been through over 200 American radio stations, and he ran across our station and was glad to hear that we was talking about the topics, and we focus on relationship issues and many other topics. But on this show, we're going to be talking about how to promote responsibility in a relationship. You also, we ask that you register for WVSW radio giveaways. We ask you to send your name. Send your name to Lorenza D. Smith 15@gmail.com or WVSW Radio, the internet station 23@gmail.com. And we will put you in the raffle because we raffle off hotel stays, varies from 3 nights to 5 nights, internationally as well as domestically. We also make sure you have an opportunity to win one of the gift cards. We give away gift cards. We give away gas vouchers, food vouchers, movie passes through our raffle, along with car wash vouchers and books from the authors who've been here. Some of the novelty items, like some of the products from Soap Gems from Jackson and Grace. There are many products that we talk about from time to time that's available because they're producing some of the best soap scents in South Central Alabama. So thank you so much, Soap Gems for Jackson and Grace, playing a part in what we're trying to do here. We also ask you to send us a means of transaction along with your name. The reason we're asking for that, we give love offering, vary from $5 to $100. So we want to make sure we get you something, whether you win in the raffle or not. So what we ask you to do, please, just send us your name along with one of these means of transaction, starting with Cash App. If you have Cash App, just send it along with your name, or PayPal, or Venmo, or Zelle to that Gmail account I gave to you, Lorenza D. Smith15@gmail.com, WVSW Radio, the internet station, 23@gmail.com. So much for supporting what we're doing. A lot of people coming in, bumping in right now. Thank you for taking time. We also ask you to sow a seed of $1 with WVSW radio station at Cash App, $ LORENZA D as in David, SMITA. PayPal, Lorenza D. Smith15@gmail.com, or at Zelle 334-301-8775. Quickly repeat: Cash App, $ Lorenza D. Smith. PayPal, Lorenza D. Smith15@gmail.com, and on Zelle 334-301-8775. You have an opportunity when you sell it to us, you put down there, this is for the Soul and the Seed Radio, the internet station, and we're number one. I'm excited because today's title is part of the series we're doing. That is looking at relationship issues, or looking at relationship titles. We're focusing on relationship characteristics, and we want to move forward with responsibility, and I'm going to slash it with accountability. I did accountability the other day, and I talked about the responsibility. Now we're going to do responsibility, but we're going to talk about you being accountable for your action. So truly, we want to kind of share with you, but we want you to be interactive by typing in your comments, sharing your thoughts, set up some likes. We want a lot of likes. Set up some hearts. Purchase an opportunity to get a badge, and support what we're doing. And we want to thank you in advance because we're trying to make a difference. And we thank you for supporting us while we're trying to make a difference. As we move forth, looking at the title, How to Promote Responsibility in Relationship, we always start with real talk. We're going to come and share things with you. Fits you, and you like to use it, fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. We want to always talk about what does relationship responsibility mean. It goes to you looking at responsibility in your life. If you have children, you are responsible for their well-being, for their success in life, because you want to put them in a position to be successful. If you're responsible for a business, you need to make sure you do what's needed to keep your business afloat and bringing a profit in. You are responsible on a assembly line. You have a responsibility. You have to come to work. You have to be able to communicate with your team, and you have to do your job. This is what it's all about. Responsibility in a relationship is about acknowledging and owning your action. Whatever you do, you have to own it. Your actions are indicative of you. In a relationship, if you're disrespectful, that's your action. You have to own it. Stand in your caughtness, stand in your wrongness, and you can be a lot successful. You also have to have the ability to own your words. You have to own your words. If you say something, own it. Don't come back and try to change it after you have let it been placed out there in the atmosphere that's similar with people. And then you want to come back because you see another goal and you say, well, I'm going to change that. That's more flip-flopping. Own what you say and try to do better. If you say you're behind that, you know it's not right, make the effort to change it. Your action will put into play. Also, being willing to deal with the consequences. When people put words, they're not willing to deal with the consequences. When people present an action to you, they're not willing to be responsible enough to accept the consequences that comes along with it. If it means losing something to get to where you need to be, it may not be your time when you're putting something out. You keep using your action is different from what you're supposed to be doing, or different from the words that you presented. You need to accept that, and it's not your time. I understand. You have to work through the consequences come along for presenting something that you know was not right. You got to hold the responsibility. You got to not be able to sit up there and lie to people and don't want to accept the courtness you're in. Instead of that, you want to find a way to get around it. And like people didn't see what they saw. See, it is a responsibility is an important part of healthy relationship because it can build trust, show vulnerability, encourage honesty, make you more attentive and empathetic. Let's focus on attentive and empathetic. We know what vulnerability is. We know what trust is. We know what honesty is. Attentive means you're going to be aware of what you said and aware of your action. You're attentive to what you do. He's not stopping you from doing it, but you would think about it. I have this rule that I've been using for years in my career. That was when I was in a leadership role as an administrator. I use what we call the 8-second. In the 8-second, we think about what we said and how we can deal with it. It always takes about 8 seconds. I call it the 8-second rule. And you can write this down. If you say something, take 8 seconds to think about it. Before you answer people, take 8 seconds to answer, especially when you know it's causing conflict with you. Just like the word no. A lot of us would say yes because we're afraid of the consequences of no, instead of just being responsible enough to tell them, I cannot do it. Because, see, it's unfair for the people you telling yes when you know you can't do it. And it's unfair for yourself. You have to take responsibility for your action. And the consequences of, especially if you're telling your family members, your friends, you're telling your old partner, mate, that you're going to do something and you really can't do it. You have to let them know, I can't do it. No, I cannot do it. Now, that at another time and make an effort. See, we're in God's body where we truly don't want to hear the word no. We think everybody either need to operate in the gray or give us what we want. And society will not operate in a successful way if we have people out there. And in your relationship, you want to be attentive to that relationship in what you say and what you do. Then you want to be empathetic. See, empathy said, I'm going to put myself in your shoes. I'm going to make sure if I do it, and the results, will I be able to deal with it? See, a lot of time when we respond to things, we don't put ourselves in the other person's. one of the things that hurt a lot of individuals, especially we always talk, we focus on a relationship, we focus on emotion. But are you a selfless, or you have empathy for others? Do you understand what they're going through? Put yourself in their shoes. Don't just do something and not think there's not going to be consequences that comes along with it. See, some days we may find you saying something hurtful. You will say something that hurts someone's feelings, but stand in your truth. Stand and be responsible for what you said. Some days we're also going to make mistakes in our relationship and in life. Stand in that mistake. Don't be wallowing in it, having sympathy instead of having empathy for others. You have to stand in that courtness, and if it's a mistake, and make the adjustment. See, responsibility makes sure that you do that for your action. That's why we're talking about relationship responsibility. Make sure you take responsibility for your actions. And do not, let me say it again, and do not blame others. See, the victim card is being used at the highest level, in the highest office. Everybody else is to blame. You want to accept your responsibility. In a relationship, accept your responsibility. Be accountable for your words and your action. That's all we're asking you to do. If you do that, you will have a long-lasting, successful relationship. Stand in your hardness. Stand in your space of accountability. Stand in your space of responsibility, because it's you. Our title on WVSW, the number one internet station for today's show, is how to more or less improve, enhance, grow your ability to be responsible. You are responsible for your action. No matter what someone else say, no matter how much they tell you it's okay, you must stand in your courtness. If we're going to stand, we're going to grow, we're going to develop, and then we're going to enhance. See, we're going to be thriving in life when we accept our responsibility for our action and our words. Don't blame others. You know, I remember something that some of you might have been born then. There used to be a comedy show used to come on in the 70s, I believe, called the Flip Wilson Show. And when something happened to the character that he was playing, because he was dressed like a female and he was playing a character, and the first thing he would say, the devil made me do it. See, yes, it's easy to blame someone else or something else, but you made the decision, so you made yourself do it. Accept responsibility and accountability so you can be successful in your relationship. See, when you take responsibility for your action, it will further build trust and honesty in your relationship. Let me give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Thank you so much, this sponsor, for being a part of this. Truly, you know, when God to be experience grace and mercy, it's going to be all God's grace. But we're going to play a little bit of this soundtrack, and we're going to present our sponsor. TriStat LLC, Mr. William Scott. He's a consultant expert. His consultant firm can meet your needs. So we ask you to give him a call. And the number to call is 334-320-5600. 5438. Again, 334-320-5438. He's going to meet your needs through if you wrote a grant and how to orchestrate that grant, because you gave a plan. He's going to make sure you stay on task. He's going to be able to do the research. His team is an awesome team. You can go to Facebook and check out Mr. William Scott, and he'll take you to information to TriStat LLC. Offices in Selma and Montgomery, Alabama. So we give a shout out to Mr. William Scott and TriStat LLC. You know, in the background, you hear God's grace. You don't know how you made it. He will always say, I don't know how I made it this far. I don't know how I had the opportunity. He'll say, be the youngest mayor in history, in his 20s. He didn't say, I don't see how I made it, but it was his grace that did. So check him out at TriStat LLC, the consultant firm that meets your consultant needs. Let's move forward. This is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I am Dr. Lawrence D. Smith, and our network is still trying to get up, but as soon as you get up, I'll let you know. But if you want to call in, the chat line is 347-857-4192. Press 1, and I'll make sure I get you on the line by identifying the last 4 digits of your cell. Actually, your location. You can chat with Dr. Lawrence D. Smith about how to promote responsibility in a relationship. And we all want to be successful in a relationship. If we're short in responsibility, not just in your romantic relationship, but in your family relationship, your friend relationship, your workplace relationship, your organization relationship, your community relationship, you want to be successful. And you have to be responsible for your action. You actually question, why is responsibility important to a relationship? You ask that. I see relationship is so just the key to being successful in life, being able to get along with others. So responsibility is important in relationship because it helps build the trust. See, you can't have a healthy, successful, long-lasting relationship unless you have trust. We have to trust one another. We have to believe in one another. And we have to move to be thriving to be successful. See, responsibility is important in a relationship because it helps build dependability. It shows be dependable. I can count on you. I can trust you, and I can count on you because you are responsible. You are ready to be accountable. See, when you show yourself, we have to believe what we see. When someone lacks accountability, blame others, I cannot trust you. You're not dependable in my eyes. And it also leads to when you building respect in your relationship. You have to be responsible. You have to be accountable. You're looking at trust. See, when you take responsibility for your actions and behavior, you show your partner or mate that you're willing to be honest, vulnerability. Trust is all about honesty and vulnerability. This also gives your partner, your mate, an opportunity to be encouraged. They're also encouraged to be open and authentic to the point that you can really turn something over to them. You have to trust them. You have to respect. You have to understand that I'm giving you something. I'm giving you my piece of my inner self. I got to trust you to be enough to be honest. I got to trust you that you're going to be dependable. I got to trust you you're going to be responsible. I got to trust you to be accountable. These are the things I have to turn over if I want a healthy relationship. If you want the relationship, you got to turn that over. You got to open the door. If you have walls protect that intercept in your heart and your soul, and you're not ready to be vulnerable, don't go to a relationship that you're looking to be long lasting. Go into one to be casual, short term. Go into one that allows you just to hook up. Go into one that allows you to do Netflix and fun. Go into you one that you slide right and slide left. Go in that kind of, but don't be out here tickling around with that ability to be in a long-lasting, healthy relationship called fit. If you're not responsible, if you're not accountable, you are not fit to be in a relationship with anybody. And I want you to keep, so when we talk about how important it is, it's important that we are responsible for our action and our behavior. See, when we encourage our partner to be open and genuine and authentic, we're willing to allow them, and we're going to show them that we are responsible ourselves. We are accountable for our action. So I trust you. You trust me. This is what you got to be willing to be doing. See, we also have to understand that if you say you're going to do something, your word should stand. If you say you're going to do something, your word should stand. But I found out if you're not, a lot of individuals put their hand on being a lot of time dishonest. Lying is nothing in our today's society. People have no problem with a straight face and don't crack a smile. Because no one wants to hold it responsible. No one wants to hold you accountable. We want to give, but not hold them accountable for what you give to them. If I give you my heart and my soul, then I'm going to hold you accountable and responsible that you do not put me in a situation that's going to hurt me, humiliate me, or abuse me. That's what relationship responsibility. And that's why it's so important. Because if you don't stand behind your word, if you don't follow through, it's going to erode trust, dependability. Being responsible can make you earn respect from your partner. Being responsible can help you earn respect from your partner. When people are counting on you and you're responsible, they can take you serious. But they can't take you serious if you're dishonest, if you lie on the drop of a hat. My mom always told me years and years ago as a child, and that's part of the foundation and the principles that I have in my life. Tell that first lie, you got to tell 10 more to follow up. And if you don't, you can lie by omission. When you intentionally omit something, you're lying. See, I can see if you didn't read it in there, didn't see that it was part of it and it needed to be there. The omission is not really where you're lying because it didn't specifically say that. Then you may not put it in. But if you blatantly omit something or come short of telling the truth, then that is a lie by omission. I can't trust you. You're not dependable. You are not fit. Respect. Respect is being responsible can help you earn respect from your partner. But it's important to know how to take responsibility. See, that's one of the biggest challenges here. People don't know how to take responsibility. You can't hold people accountable when they don't understand taking responsibility. You hold them accountable about not letting them slip and slide. If you got somebody telling you something out there, they have said something a year ago, 2 years ago, and they come back and trying to change it, you hold them accountable. Why did you say that 2 years ago? Why did you say that last week? Tell me why. Before I can allow you off the hook, you got to tell me, why did you say that? Is that what you believe? If you change it, what caused you to change? See, communication is important. You got to be an effective communicator, but you have to be also. So we let people know you can be respected when you are responsible. You can be respectable or respectful, or if you're responsible. If you're not responsible, people don't respect you because, see, with the lack of respect, this leads to you having the lack of trust, the lack of respect, and an understanding between mates. See, one of the things I want to kind of wrap this responsibility and the importance of it is take responsibility creates trust. Taking responsibility creates trust and dependability. Those are two words you want to tie in with responsibility. So it's important. And the third one is respect. I won't respect if you lie to me. See, when you take responsibility for your behaviors, you demonstrating to your mate your willingness to be honest and vulnerable, which in turn encourage your mate to be open and authentic with you. That statement is strong. That sentence is very strong. When you take responsibility for your behavior, you demonstrate your part to your mate, your willingness to be honest and vulnerable, which in turn encourages your mate to be open and authentic or genuine with you. This is why responsibility is important to a relationship. Let's give a shout out to WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I'm Dr. Lawrence B. Smith. Our show today is Our Voice. It is from the grassroots perspective where we try to provide information to help you be successful at the local level. So we're excited because God has blessed us to be here. You can check us out on Instagram. That's Z Squad Greenwood 1981. If you want to be part of the live broadcast, check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Big O Live, TikTok Live. You can check us out on YouTube. We want you to subscribe to the Smith Way Enterprises 5018. Go in there and subscribe. We need your support. And on Blog Talk Radio. Truly, you have an opportunity to be interactive. This is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station, and we're heard in 45 countries and on 6 countries. So we have listeners in 45 and watchers in 45 countries. It's a blessing to come before you, and I want to thank you so much for being here. We got our next sponsor. We want to give a shout out to the sponsor because if you really care about your surroundings, care about what we call grassroots, that'll mean your home, your neighborhood. Let's a little part of this. We don't own the rights to the music, but we're going to play something. But we're going to let you know our next sponsor, why it's being played.
Need life insurance? Taking the first step is easy.
Give a shout out to unique_wares_international. Give a shout out to user with the number Teresa. Thank you so much. We have another user that's joining us. Good_night. We also have Bridget, and that looks like Tony 47. See, if you still care, you would take an opportunity to give L&T Stallworth Lawn Service LLC in South Central Alabama a call. That's Mr. Stallworth. He's the manicure expert in South Central Alabama. He also will clean your property off in South Central Alabama. You can give Mr. Stallworth a call at 334-300-7401 or go to Facebook. Type in Anthony Stallworth. It'll populate his information, DM Anthony, and find out what his quotes are for moving, cleaning your property off, manicuring your lawn. Thank you so much, Mr. Stallworth, and L&T Stallworth Lawn Service, LLC, for supporting what we do. They care, and they're all about hard work. So thank you so much, L&T Stallworth Lawn Service. As we move forward, we're going to look at why accountability. See, we've been talking about responsibility, but we want to slash that. Responsibility / account. Saying is, it's all about responsibility. How to enhance, how to promote responsibility. But responsibility is all about being accountable for your behavior and your action. And accountability is important to a relationship. See, accountability requires a sense of self-worth. See, one of the things, I had a conversation with a lead administrator today as I was visiting one of the schools, checking on the intern. A conversation, and we was talking about where we're the challenges here and there, our education process, and where we have kind of moved to the side accountability. Where in life, accountability. A lot of time individuals seem to think that they're not responsible for their action, and they definitely not accountable for sometimes the consequences that come out of their action. When we say accountability requires a sense of self-worth, if you lack ability to understand who you are, then you have a problem of understanding or recognizing other individuals. See, when we're talking about self-worth, we're talking about knowing who you are and who you are. How worthy am I? Not what people tell me. I have to know that. You have to know that you are worthy. You are worthy to come to and ask something. You're worthy to talk to. This is what accountability focuses on, a sense of self. See, a recognition that a person is both independent from others and also in relationship with others. Accountability and responsibility allows you to be independent because you're going to accept the consequences for your action. It also allows you the opportunity to be in a relationship and a very successful relationship. That's what accountability and responsibility does for your relationship. And we have to focus on being accountable for our action. See, when accountability is present in your life, in your relationship, or all your relationship, there's a strong foundation. If you have a weak foundation, if you build your house up on sand and not up on the rocks, it's going to sink because sand sinks. Called sometimes quicksand. Don't build your foundation up on sand. have a strong foundation because two of the things that I am understanding about myself, that I am responsible for my action, I am responsible for my behavior, and I understand my self-worth. So I recognize that I'm accountable. I'm going to stay on this. And when I say that is, you're accepting what's going on because you created it. Are we seeing that today? Are we seeing that today? Sometimes take your feelings out and just look at all the things that are being heard. World news, are you looking at political aspects, job, educational? Are we accountable? Do we have the strong foundation to be successful? It is a main responsibility and component. Accountability is a responsibility, and it leads to a strong foundation, and it's the component to having a healthy relationship. How about you? We're going to give a shout out to we want to kind of play some things that really falls in line. And this one is really, really, when I think this song to present our next sponsors is that people gave up on them. They're doing some awesome things. So thank you. Wow, commercials being played to a couple individuals that's joining us. We have is that Jermaine Bambo? Thank you. Another user, Shelly. Thank you for joining. Louis W. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. It's just important that we understand that we give these individuals shout outs because they're taking time. I just want you to kind of listen to this song, and it's going to apply to this individual and her business. People gave up on her, but she didn't give up on herself. She held herself accountable. She understood her self-worth. This is Lena Payton Well, Impression Publishing. We give a shout out to you because she was 2024 presidential because she can work with you putting together your book, your memoir. If it's a comic book, she's willing to work. Her team is willing to you through the process of getting it published through her company and strategies to make sure the book is out on the shelf. This is Blue Impressions Publishing. Lena Payton Well, presidential lifetime achiever. And you can contact her at 833-951-2665. 833-951-2665. Or go to Facebook, type in Lena Payton Well. It'll populate her information for Blue Impression Publishing. So thank you so much, Lena. She's a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I want to give her a shout out. Thank you for what you are doing to be recognized as 2024 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awardee. And she publicizes, she's promoting, she's a sponsor of WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. So thank you so much, Sarah Webb, for doing what you're doing. She's still here because people had given up on her, but she's still here. That's some disappointment, I can tell you that now. My. As we move forward, we want to look at some signs of relationship responsibility. starting with taking responsibility. Acknowledge your mistakes. Be accountable for feelings and needs, and communicating them to your mate. That's taking responsibility. Conflict resolution. Every relationship, whether it's family, friend, romantic, workplace, community, there are going to be individuals that sometimes create conflicts. But you have to be able to come up with resolution, especially in your relationship. See, recognizing the root issue. What caused the conflict? And addressing it respectfully. That's the resolution. Do that before it. Let me give a shout out to this Mar_Han. Thank you so much for joining. We have deep. Okay, that's Dorothy. Great. Thank you so much, Dorothy, for joining us. Big dog in the house. Thank you so much. Conflict resolution. Recognizing the root issue, then addressing it. Communication. Use your active communication. Listening respectfully to the other person's point of view. Then allow them time to speak without interrupting them. That's disrespectful. If you can't, that is not effective communication. You don't have the skill. Are you fit for a relationship? If you lack the skill to allow somebody to share their point of view or be able to listen to them, you don't deserve to be in a relationship with anyone but yourself. You say you can do bad by yourself? Stay by yourself. Don't waste the valuable time, which we control our time and energy, when you're not willing to listen respectfully. We're not doing it because we want to interrupt you. We want to have the last word. We want the shame. We want the insult. We want to get the guilt trip going on, and that need to be right. The sign language in a relationship. You're not fit. Independence. How independent are you? That's being able to take care of oneself. Most of the time, individuals when they meet, they have independently taken care of themselves. When they get in a relationship, think about the advantage you have. You have two people now coming together in a relationship, really can take care of themselves. You come to an agreement because you was intentional. You want a long-lasting relationship, commitment. Then you're willing to sit down and discuss it. But these individuals already come with their independence. And you have to understand, they can take care of themselves. But when two together, taking care of each other is a lot easier than out there one. This thing about I can do bad by myself, oh no. It's hard out there doing bad by yourself, especially when we're in our economic challenges of today. The next thing is so important when we said a sign is shared responsibility. If you're in a relationship and you know there's something happening, you was a part of it, you have to realize giving of oneself, caring for, and loving the other person. So it becomes a shared responsibility. Trust. See, a sign of respect and commitment in a relationship is all about trust. Because it shows your partner value. Shows your partner values the relationship. And there's other responsibility that comes along with trust in your relationship, including respect, support, and safety. These are so important. So our signs that your relationship have responsibility. Both parties are responsible. You take responsibility. Conflict resolution. Recognize the root of the problem of the issue and address it. Communication effectively by listening, allowing your partner to share their point of view or your mate, giving them time to speak without interrupting. I'm gonna tell you, if you was in a conversation where people don't agree with what you say, when you start talking, they're gonna interrupt you. They're gonna distract. See, it's hard to be in a relationship if you're not an effective communicator. It's hard to be in a relationship. We got to be real here. This is real talk. You can't be in no relationship with your family, because if you're so used to want to have it your way, you're gonna interrupt them whenever you ain't gonna let them speak. You're not gonna listen to anything they have to say because you got your mind already made up. You distract, because when you're talking about a certain situation, you're gonna go talk and add something else in there. It has nothing to do. Let's address this situation. You're responsible for your action. You want to be accountable, and relationships can be successful if you work on being responsible and accountable. Stop blaming others. Share the blame, because that's what it's all about. Shared responsibility, independence, and trust. Those are signs that will help you be successful in a relationship. I want to give a shout out to our next sponsor. And the music we're going to play here, again, we don't own the rights to the music, but we want to continue to play it because they're being blessed. We're being blessed. And we want to thank them for supporting what we're doing. God is so good. They're being blessed. Just like I'm saying there, I'm being blessed. They're being blessed. Let's give a shout out to the user with the number that's joining us. Also, we want to give a shout out to, this is CP. CP is Trauma. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, we want to give a shout out to Papa Mary that's joining us. Let's give a shout out to Mary Ruth's Restaurant, located in Georgiana, Alabama. The best Southern cooking in South Central Alabama. The co-owners, that's Marlon Lala Smith, along with Katrina Roper Smith, and they have an awesome menu. And if you want to connect with them, they're located at 261 State Highway 106, West Georgiana, Alabama. And if you want to go to Facebook, go to Marvin Smith. For the populated information, you always put the menu, he's sharing with you actually what he cooked today. Then you can go to Katrina Roper Smith. She's doing the same thing. You can give them a call. 335-449-0950. If you want to find out what's on the menu for the day, you can do that. They're blessing us with the best Southern cooking in South Central Alabama. Thank you so much. Mary Ruth's Restaurant in Georgiana, Alabama. Thank you so much, Mary Ruth's Restaurant, and your support. Another user we have, lovely Indian. Thank you so much. Nita, thank you so much for joining us and being a part. We're going to discuss what are the responsibilities of a relationship, responsibilities within your relationship. See, relationship responsibilities are to communicate clearly, honestly, and respectfully. That is a responsibility in a relationship. To communicate clearly, honestly, and respectful. See, you want to give your romantic partner or mate space to enjoy activities and friendship outside of the relationship. We don't want to exert power and control in a relationship. That's your responsibility. Don't exert your power and control in a relationship. Be able to compromise when needed. See, relationship responsibilities is linked to our most basic feelings about ourselves. To be honest, I want you to lie to me. I want to be able to trust you. I want you to be respectful. I want you to communicate with me clearly. Those are basic feelings, which are emotions in a relationship. We ask you to do that. To the extent that we are over responsible to others, we have to sometimes be over responsible to others. That's held accountable. And your relationship can be successful. But we still must maintain our self-worth, even though we're trying to please someone, win their approval, and avoid their displeasure, make them feel better, or monitor, fix, or change them. You can't change people unless they want to change. See, we typically believe that even when others want none of these efforts from us, even reject, that allows you to address your accountability and your responsibility. When they don't do those things, they reject your efforts, then that also have you a lot of time over responsible. See, over responsible orientation toward others provoke anxiety and guilt. And finally, we feel mean, selfish, and worthless when we're over responsible. First of all, we don't feel like we're getting it back in return. It's not reciprocated to it. Then we realize, well, I'm giving all this and selfish. I'm going to be selfish. What I'm doing ain't worth the efforts I'm putting into because they're not showing it, because they're not reciprocating. They're not making it possible for us to be able to communicate and be successful. We have to look at things like that. Give a shout out to our next sponsor. We want to always have the best when we're working with people. So the best in me, the best in you is so important. Give a shout out to a few other people as a person. Hot Cakes is joining us. Thank you so much. We also have Trip. Thank you so much. That's joining us. A user. Then we have Ken Hollis. Kind of hard to see what they got here. I'm working on making sure I can see. Epic. Thank you so much for joining us. See, God saw best in this young lady. She's a personal consultant for Bye Bye Belly. Barnes O'Fair. If you're struggling with belly fat and you want to remove it, give Cherie not only a call, but making sure you contact her by email. You can go to Facebook, type in Cherie Barnes O'Fair, and she can provide you an opportunity to get a product to address your belly fat so you can feel comfortable, feel comfortable. When you have belly fat, it puts strains on the other part of your body. So go to Facebook, type in Cherie Barnes or Shea Barnes. You can go to the email, Cherie Speaks 9. Check it out. Thank you so much, Cherie Barnes, for sharing what you're doing. That is Bye Bye Belly. Consultant Cherie Barnes O'Fair. She's giving her best. Also, give a shout out to Cherie, her new book. It is Coming Out of the Storm, From Brokenness to Wholeness. You can go to Amazon. You can also go to Cherie Speaks 89 gmail.com and find out more about her book. So this is an awesome and a good read. This is Cherie Barnes Transformation Book, step by step, coming out of the storm, from brokenness to wholeness. Thank you so much. She's been the best. She's giving the best of herself in me. We have, but we're not built the same. We don't operate the same. We don't do the same way. God bless each and everyone with something different. Look at experiencing responsibility, and we do it different. Let's start off with men. See, men are often seen as under-responsible in troubled relationship, and they may act unresponsible or even irresponsible. This behavior often masks strong, unacknowledged dysphoria from feeling responsible for their partner. See, they don't want to be responsible for their partner. Because, see, men have low tolerance for strong emotion. They tend to bury or displace this dysphoria. And often they take control. If I can change, that's what some men would say, if I can change. This is said as avoidance of reasoning. What you think, feel, and want or do, I will feel calmer. The dysphoria also leads men to shutting down emotionally. They distance themselves physically, sometimes resort to controlled substance or alcohol. They seek comfort in relationships with someone else, even if they're in that relationship with you. They develop a short fuse and they even become violent. See, when men feel over-responsible for others, they can feel like relationship failure and become highly defensive around being good enough. So when it's under responsibility, men lead men to intensely focus on others, which is often a lot of time the negative part. They unattentiveness to their own emotions especially with relationships and family spirits. See, they become good for their own good. That's what they do. They become good. As we look at dealing with women, men over responsibility in women leads to deferring and over functioning for men, which we're talking about emotional relationships, talking about their family. Sometimes they become submissive, attending to their own needs and aspirations in a variety of relationships, devaluing other women in favor of men, loss of sense of self, and anxiety around abandonment. So they use abandonment. They come to abandonment when they feel like they're over responsible. When we're talking about women, what are the responsibilities of women in a relationship? Mentally, women's role encompass understanding, empathy, and intellectual companionship, contributing to the robust and the healing relationship, which falls in the area of professional support they will seek and collaboration. See, professional woman interest involvement in her husband's career can significantly enhance their connection. And responsibility to his girlfriend include respect, trust, and emotional support. You got to be there to listen, understanding her needs, and communicate openly. Show affection, make time for the relationship, and be faithful. Those are the responsibility of both men and women. And we all have responsibility, and we are to be held accountable. If you're in a relationship, hold that individual accountable. You want to be successful. The question is, how do you balance responsibility in your relationship? How do you balance? How do you balance responsibility in your relationship? I want to give a shout out to our next sponsor. That's the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. See, we truly want to be able to deliver, but we all want to help you to understand that we're here for you, that organization. Let's be in a position to support, encourage, but we do ask for deliverance. Give a shout out to a few more that have joined us. Ricky, thank you so much for joining us. Give a shout out to the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter. If you want to contact those brothers who are the most progressive chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, you can check out through their email. You can contact Zeta Phi Sigma Greenville, all in one word, okay, at gmail.com. And if you want to connect with a brother, you maybe want to call one of the brothers, you can connect through 334-467-7261, which is our office number. But we're also being the radio station partner. We can connect you with those brothers. Truly making a difference in the community. So we give a shout out to the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter of Greenville, Alabama. How to balance responsibility in your relationship. You have to put the work in. Working to balance responsibility in a relationship is key to creating a closer. See, you want to come closer to your partner or your mate. A healthier connection with your mate. And it's easier than you think. There are some tips that's out there. Let's give a shout out to Zeta 1998. Remember, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. JHC, thank you so much for joining. That's 8807. Let's look at some tips of balancing responsibility in a relationship. Closer. You want to have a healthy connection. You want to be able to lock in on being successful in your relationship. So let's see how we can balance this thing. First of all, communication is the first tip. Open and honest communication is essential for a healthy relationship. Divide up tasks. Divide them up. Always talk about this evenly divide them up. But just divide up the task that you both agreed to. I'll handle this, I'll handle that, and compromise. Sometimes you got to write them down. Write down each responsibility, because if you do, it helps maintain balance. Whether it's a responsibility, like doing the bills together. It might be where you're trying to create an opportunity through joint decision making and having conversation about your needs and your wants. Be flexible. This is another tip to having a balanced relationship. Be flexible.